Here's a full, detailed look at what happened to Kevin Thorn, born Kevin Matthew Fertig, from his early wrestling days, through his time in WWE, to his life after wrestling. Kevin Matthew Fertig was born on January 17, 1977, in Memphis, Tennessee. He initially worked out at a gym with veteran wrestler Sid Vicious, not to be confused with the punk musician, and gradually transitioned into pro wrestling. He debuted in 2000, wrestling under the name Seven, inspired by the Seven Deadly Sins, for local promotions such as Memphis Championship Wrestling (MCW). There he captured titles such as the MCW Southern Heavyweight and MCW Hardcore Championships. In April 2002, Fertig signed with WWE and was assigned to their developmental territory Ohio Valley Wrestling (OVW). In 2004 he emerged on the main roster as the character, Mordecai, on SmackDown, a religious zealot-type figure wearing all white, delivering sermons and proclaiming himself pure. He made his debut at the Judgment Day PPV, defeating Scotty 2 Hotty. However, this gimmick did not last long. Creative changes and other backstage issues led to him being sent back to OVW. In 2006, WWE revived its ECW brand and Fertig returned under a new persona, Kevin Thorn, a vampire-themed character complete with tarot reading valet Ariel. He debuted on July 25, 2006 on ECW, defeating Little Guido Maritato. He joined the stable The New Breed alongside Elijah Burke, Matt Stryker, Marcus Corvon, and Ariel in early 2007, positioned as part of the new generation of ECW. During this time, he achieved moderate success on television, but the character never quite reached top-tier status. By late 2007 he was pulled off TV and sent back to developmental. Fertig's time with WWE ended in early 2009. In January of that year he elected not to renew his contract, and WWE announced that he was released although his contract officially expired later. Following his departure, Fertig wrestled on the independent circuit under the Kevin Thorn name, and sometimes as Seven Thorn, in Europe and smaller US promotions. After mostly stepping away, from full-time wrestling, Fertig shifted his focus toward business and life outside the ring. By 2021, it was reported he was working in real estate in Indiana. In an interview, he revealed he dealt with alcohol-related issues and entered a WWE-sponsored rehabilitation program, which became a turning point. He spoke candidly about making the call to change, getting healthier, spending time with his family, his son and daughter both play lacrosse, and being more selective about wrestling appearances. He still competes occasionally in independent wrestling, but it is very much a side activity rather than a full-time career. For instance, in January 2022, he tore his bicep off the bone during a match in OVW's Nightmare Rumble event. He joked he was not made for this shit anymore, and that he'd stick to real estate. Fertig has spoken about aspects of his career that prevented him from breaking through. He admitted the Mordecai gimmick was hampered by him being at a heavier weight and less prepared than ideal. He was involved in a bar fight while in WWE that led to legal and backstage issues, one reason WWE pulled the character back to developmental. The ECW vampire gimmick was heavily studied as being a network-driven idea, Sci-Fi Channel wanting supernatural characters, rather than a fully organic wrestling storyline. Fertig himself noted the gimmick was kind of pitched by the network. The New Breed stable had potential, but internal booking, CM Punk's role, and the direction of the show limited how far some members, including Thorn, could go. He lives in or near Indianapolis, Indiana. Involved in real estate, he makes occasional appearances in wrestling, mainly as a nostalgic attraction rather than a full-time competitor. He has open discussions around his health journey, including battling alcohol issues and going through rehab. Kevin Thorn is remembered for his distinctive vampire gimmick in WWE's ECW brand, a unique character in the mid-2000s wrestling era. Though he never became a top star, he had memorable moments and remains appreciated by fans for his look, presence, and character work. Reddit threads still note how his Mordecai character had potential. Greater than, I was really into Mordecai, I was so disappointed to hear when they dropped the gimmick, and even more disappointed when they brought him back as Kevin Thorn. His candid reflections about his career and personal challenges add to his credibility and respect among peers and fans. Kevin Matthew Fertig began in the independents, signed with WWE, had two major characters Mordecai and Kevin Thorn, but never reached the very top of the card. Post-WWE, he transitioned out of full-time wrestling and into business, real estate while still making occasional ring appearances. He overcame personal challenges notably related to alcohol, and now prioritizes family, health, and work outside the ring. While his in-ring peak may not have been extensive, he left a mark with his characters, his story, and his honesty about the ups and downs of a wrestling career.